All right, good evening. Welcome to the EHS Subcommittee meeting, June 21st, 2022. Posted for 7 o'clock here in the Veterans Room. Calling the meeting order at 7:10. The delay was due to the DPW Subcommittee running over. Roll call. Chairman Jovan present. Councilor Catrona absent. Councilor Ryan
Present.
Citizen Member Christo
Present.
and Citizen Member Dyer.
Present.
Okay. Agenda item 3, vote to approve all outstanding meeting minutes. So, because this is my last meeting and as a counselor for the EHS subcommittee, as my term expires, I wanted to make sure that we had brought all the minutes up to date. So earlier, we sent out to everybody the approval of minutes for the following dates. November 8th, December 14th, November 8th, 2021, December 14th, 2021, January 19th, 2022, March 22nd, 2022, April 20th, 2022, April 21st, 2022, May 12th, 2022, and June 1st, 2022. My hope is that the next council will be aggressive in seeking support for subcommittees to make sure that we have a recording clerk so that we don't have these, the council doesn't have these issues, not only with this subcommittee, but other subcommittees that have an issue, because it is tough as a volunteer to try to do everything. So again, my apologies to everybody present. So hopefully you had an opportunity to review it. Any of the minutes. The issue is going to be that there's minutes that none of the subcommittee members except myself were present. It's a mix and match. So if there's any questions, I would hope that we would just approve these or as accepted to be transmitted to the town clerk to be placed on file as record of the meetings, because it would be almost impossible to try to figure out who was present in all those meetings.
I would concur with you, Mr. Chair. Actually, under Robert's rules, or you don't have to even abstain from the minutes. If it's a recording of what happened, you're approving that was what a record of what happened. So I am fine with that, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Are there any questions on that? As you can see, we do a sign-in sheet, and I did see attached list. Those lists will be attached to the permanent record and transmitted to the town clerk. So I'll make sure that these all go on file. So if there's no opposition, I think that, does anybody have any questions on the record themselves?
Just a clarification, we also have the set from October 21st, 2021.
I did transmit those, but that was the one set that I think we approved at a meeting. So I just put them as part of the packet. So those were one set that were actually in the minutes that we approved on a previous meeting. So I just sent them all to her so that she could have them in the file to make sure that we have everything during my tenure as chair of the EHS subcommittee.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
any opposition? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. I will transmit those to, and I already have started the minutes for this meeting with all the agenda items. I'll make sure that that is transmitted along with that to the town manager's office, so whoever takes over EHS will be able to do that. Thank you all, and thank you for your indulgence. And I'll make sure that we transmit this copy of all minutes to the entire council for their record on Monday evening. Item 4, discuss the donation of a new shed to the Recreation Department for West Street School baseball field, and entertain a motion to recommend town council accept this donation.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Michael, are you taking the lead on this?
Yeah.
All right. So, for those members, this is Mike from Recreation.
Great to see you guys. So I was contacted probably a little bit less than a month ago by the Southbridge Spectacles, which is an adult baseball league that plays in town. And they do a lot to help maintain the fields that they play on, which is West Street. There is a shed there that holds supplies for a lot of the things that they use to keep the fields in working order. But that shed's handles and ultimately the lock that holds the handles is falling apart. And I think at this moment they just have a trash barrel holding it, so essentially the shed does not open. So with worries about people getting into it, vandalism, and just keeping items that they use to maintain the fields in best working order, they've offered to donate a shed. I believe it might be about a foot wider than the one that is there now, but that should not get in the way because lengthwise that's just a little bit wider next to the dugout. It's not protruding any further out. Yeah, and it seems like it's just going to help them do what they've already been doing, which is maintaining the field and playing on it.
Any other questions? No? All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous, all present. That was quick, right? Item 5, discuss donation of a new basketball ring to the Recreation Department for the Moore Street Court and entertain a motion to recommend town council accept this donation. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Mike?
Okay, so about 2 or 3 months ago, I was contacted by a citizen in town who asked about the basketball hoops up at Morris Street. It seems like some of it can't fully be fixed without some serious assessments. Nothing too crazy, but one of the heights of one of the basketball hoops is higher than the other. Something I have discussed with DPW. It isn't their main focus at this point, but essentially continued with that conversation. This citizen has also mentioned that there's a bent rim, and again, DPW, that's not their main focus to fix it, but it is this citizen's main focus. So he's offered to put up the money, pay for a new rim, and have that installed. He sent me over a link. It's from an Amazon one. It's top rated. It's pretty high quality, and DPW has agreed to install it if we do purchase it.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Questions? I know I have offered to Council Marquetti to sit with him about Moore Street Field Complex, so hopefully we can work together to work on some improvements on all that, but this is a great step to
Absolutely.
These other kids have, whether individuals have something to play with up there, but
I very much appreciate it. That's where my kids will be up this summer.
the kids for the program, summer
Correct.
program. Okay. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Item 6, review and discuss the community center transfer request of $2,200 from account number 001549-543000 M&I building to account number 001549-52400 M&I equipment to cover the repair costs for a leak on the boiler. Entertain a motion to recommend town council approve transfer and allow town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
Second.
And this is
It's me.
Patricia. Come on up.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Pat.
So, our lovely HVAC had another leak, and it was, I guess, 2 of the valves needed to be replaced, and whatever. It come up to about a little over $2,000.
And it's just that there's not enough money in the account. That's how it
Correct.
is. Was that on a previous question on the previous subcommittee meeting? Was that part of the plan maintenance that came in and looked at it and evaluated or found it, or was this something that was found?
Yes, it was during the planned maintenance.
Okay.
They found the leak, and then they came back and assessed it again, and then they fixed it.
Any further discussion? If anything, I think future council should really take a look at an HVAC technician that's employed by the town, because there just seems to be a lot of the stuff that goes on at
Oh.
HVAC throughout
Yeah.
all the buildings that.
Yeah, ours is original to the building too, so it's really old.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Opposed?
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Hey, Margaret, come on.
Thank you.
Item 7, review, discuss the library transfer request of $3,000 from account number 001610-521100 natural gas, $1,000. Oh, natural gas. $1,000 from account number 001610-545000 janitorial. $1,700 from account number 001610-524300 repair maintenance of building grounds. $490 from account number 001610-558000 miscellaneous materials for a total of $6,190 to account number 001610-530200 data processing to cover computer upgrades. Entertain a motion to recommend council approval and allow town manager to sign all related documents.
So moved.
That's not what it says on my agenda.
There's a revised one.
There was a revised one.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Now you tell me.
You want to
All right.
So,
Margaret, how are you this
thank you,
evening?
everybody. So it sounds like a lot.
She didn't second yet, I'll second.
Oh, you'll
sorry.
second it? Okay. So who moved it? Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I apologize.
My
Thanks for keeping me on task. That's why you were here.
So it does sound like a lot, and as you know, I try not to do transfers very often, so you don't see me often with this kind of request, but given what we're trying to do at the library to really push forward with the whole data processing and just generally to be a lot more IT 21st century ready, we had this opportunity, and I have been in touch with Dell to get a quote and get some software. And so the total amount that we're asking for in the transfer, just for the record, in my calculation, is 8,343. That's what I make it out to.
But do you already have money in there? So
Yes, we have.
okay.
Yeah, we have. Sorry.
Right. So the
this-
total account is what you're trying to transfer, but you have money there. So
Sorry, my
the total
apologies,
project
yes.
will be $8,000.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
This 2153, 2,153 actually in the data processing account as it stands.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay.
So I have been in touch with Dell, and they're on the state bid list, and we can get a computer that I think would meet our needs for a total of $1,078.82. That would be the cost of one. And that would come with all the software that I think we need, except for Microsoft, for the Microsoft Office suite.
Okay.
And that would be an extra. And I think that would total out at $672 if we went with the company. I'm sorry, just a second.
That's okay. So are you just buying one computer, or are you buying?
No, that I just did it by one, just to see
Oh, by
how
one.
much
Okay, so-
how much one would be.
Okay.
And then I'd like to raise that to some multiples, but
Okay.
I just decided to do it at one first. So the one, as I said, would be that figure, and then with the software, it would from TechSoup, which we get a non-profit rate.
Okay.
So the software would be $672. We would be getting the Microsoft and Adobe as well with that. So that would be a total of $96 per computer. So if we were to do the transfer in the way I have requested it, it would allow us to buy 7 computers. And the computers would total $8,223.74, and the request for the transfer is $8,343 with that $2,500 in the account already. So we'd have like less than $100 in the account left, about 70. And it would just make the library more computer ready, and I think our patrons would appreciate the fact that if we are increasing our speed, which we've already talked about at another meeting, we're trying to increase the speed to 600 megabytes for download and 35 upload. So this would put us in a pretty good position. CW Mars, who is our network, are going to install a new modem on Thursday, which will allow us to have the capacity of 600 megabytes because in our current modem we'd be capped off at 500.
Councilor Ryan?
I have first of all, I support this. This is great. I'm glad we're moving forward with
Thank you.
this. But I have a technical question. Did you do, what made you decide to go with like some Microsoft Suites instead of going with another provider, say like Google Docs or Google Drive system? Did you do a comparison? Did you go with what was already in the office? Are you looking at what updates or changes could be made to that to make the software more streamlined?
So at the moment, we're using both, and sometimes there can be issues trying
Yes.
to, where we put things and whatever. We are trying to move away from Microsoft, and even our network is already just totally using the Google package. But we haven't been able to do that because our public is, some of our computers will go to, we rotate our computers as we buy new ones. They usually go for the staff area so that we have the maximum speed and operability, but then they get bumped down to use for the public. So we're trying to keep everybody, every computer like comparable to what people can get in the marketplace. And so if we can do 7 computers, I think we might actually be able to put some into the public as well. But we will be, so it's nice to have both softwares so that people who come in with Microsoft documents can use them as well as people who are using their Google Cloud. We would have liked to have moved away because obviously there wouldn't be a cost involved with Google, but for the moment we're kind of stuck with it. And I think in order to be able to offer a service, all our computers still have to have Microsoft, sadly, because it is expensive. But because we're able to use the non-profit rate, we're getting, as I say, the $96 software per computer, which I think is reasonable. It certainly puts us in a better situation, and that's from TechSoup.
Thank you, Margaret. That's my question. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Any further questions? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Margaret.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Margaret. Thanks, Margaret.
All right, last one. Review, discuss global data systems quote of $1,650 for onboarding services and $281.88 monthly service fee for a total of $1,931.88 for first payment to provide IT services to the cable department. Entertain a motion to recommend council for approval and allow the town manager to sign all related documents. Is there a motion?
So,
Second.
Okay. Jim?
Yes, we're gonna, it's a standard contract. It's what most of town hall has been doing for quite a while, but apparently we weren't included in that contract within the town hall. So we're a separate entity. So
This is
this'll
IT services, though. It's, make sure you tell them what.
kind of bring us up to speed with what the rest of the town hall's been doing. As far as, that's who was, maintain the, computer systems under, Will Canoia. But we weren't specifically under that contract.
Right, so as it goes, I guess Will used to help out the cable office kind of on a as needed basis on things that would come up when it came to IT. And at some point, it's become noticeable that there isn't any kind of help in that department. It also was recommended that we look at GDS, which is what the town's been using, as you know, as the council approves their very large contract. And GDS offered to take over the cable side of things as a separate contract, not as part of the town's contract. Scope of services, I think you all got all that, and it's something that Nora has spoken with Lynn and Jim, and they've reviewed the material and feel that it will cover the needs of the cable office going forward. Personally, I'm just going to put my feeling out there. I think it's a lot of money they charge for this stuff. I think it's kind of ridiculous, just saying. But apparently this is what, just saying. I have to be honest with my first reaction when they
Thank you. Councilor Ryan?
thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you to either Ms. Clemens or yourself, Jim. Was there a comparison done for services, or did we just go with who was the standard with the town?
Well, apparently that's who has been used in town hall, and who was recommended by.
By the town manager's office.
Town
So
manager.
when they were in need of help, it became apparent they needed something, we don't have something. So it was recommended to stick with the town hall's people, because they are very familiar with the systems here.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure if there's any.
I wonder if maybe this is one of those services, because it is quite a lot for these services. And I get IT is expensive. It is an expensive industry to be in. I just would like to see, maybe this is one of those areas I'd like to see a little bit more of a look at, to see if this is appropriate, or is this something that could be incorporated? Is there a way we could incorporate this into the town contract for a cheaper rate, or like that?
It's still per department, per computer, per, so this is a per. What you're seeing here is basically the town hall rates.
Okay.
So it's not that different in that respect, my understanding, as it was explained.
Mr. Town Manager?
Yeah, so we have a legacy agreement that I believe started with Mr. Canoyer before I arrived. GDS is our managed service provider. They provided the additional services that he couldn't, as the boots on the ground, to monitor our networks and our various email and other software accounts. And they do, as Ms. Clemens said, it's sort of on an a la carte basis, and you're really charged by user per seat. So if you have 5 users, 5 computers, they charge you per unit, and that's how they break up their costs. I'm not sure when it comes back up, but at that time we could put something out, as we usually do. I think there's a couple of people in the area, and we go out and see out on the state business, but I could say there were some issues in town, as you're aware of. The town hall was not affected at that time. Other satellite buildings that weren't using GDS were ones that were hit, so that was somewhat reassuring that.
Yeah.
I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Council Steves?
A quick question. Okay, so how much of this contract could we reduce bringing on a full-time IT person to look at this? And I think we put the budget together for that.
Which
Well, I mean
contract?
the general GDS contract, whether it be for cable or for the building as a whole. It would make sense that we'd be able to reduce some of their costs by putting it onto the person that we're hiring.
Right, I think once we get on, we'll be able to start doing that. We have a bunch of people that are starting to set up interviews to come in that have done that type of work in the municipality. And then be able to see what we can offload from GDS onto that person.
Right.
Because Mr. Canoyer wore multiple hats, as you well know, so he, I don't even know if he spent 25% of his time, so somebody there should be able to offload a sizable portion. We also have other things that we would like that person to do that hasn't been done. I would like to see, I think many of us would, upgraded security systems and other things, maintaining the locks on the doors. There's a lot of technology related things that I think should be routed through that office.
But in the meantime, there just is no security.
No.
There is no anything up there at cable. Yeah. Well, let's take that back. There is obviously they have their firewall protection stuff, but they don't have the type of things that we need. So.
No, we have a couple of the guys up there are real crackerjacks, but yeah, we really need someone, this service such as this, to make sure. Just even with our current systems, my computer is getting a little older, and even some of the editing systems are.
Yep.
So this would be a nice shot in the arm for us.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? And so present. All right.
Before we adjourn, Mr. Chair, I would just like, if I can have the floor for a minute, I'd like to say thank you for this time and service as chairman of this subcommittee and in your time as a town councilor. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve alongside you. We don't always agree, But I think you are very ethical and moral in your decisions, and you are always very honest and blunt about it, and I appreciate that. So, good luck in your retirement. Don't be gone too long.
I don't think I will. But thank you, and thank you to all
Thank you.
on the EHS. Thank you for serving with me on this. It's been a rough couple of years, but you all have been together as my term during chair of council, and so thank you for your term. Hopefully, you'll stay on EHS and continue as we try to bring the town out of receivership and. Well, not the town, but the school system. Not the town, but the school system. So, with that, because I know there's another meeting to get started, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
If there's no other discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Unanimous? Meeting adjourned at 8:37. Thank you very 7:37. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.